Hello, and welcome to, have you played this? Have you played DROD, King Dugan's Dungeon? So DROD stands for Deadly Rooms of Death. This is a, kind of an old school, this is more of an update of the original. It's an old school turn-based strategy game where you have to go through King Dugan's dungeons as Beathrow, Budkin, Smite Master, and smite all of the bugs and monsters that are in King Dugan's dungeon. I kind of think of this game as being like the Dark Souls of puzzle games, and if anything, really, this game is old enough that Dark Souls is actually kind of like the DROD of over-the-shoulder third-person adventure games. I don't know, what is Dark Souls really? Is it an adventure game? It's not really an adventure game. It's more like there's adventure elements. Action games? I don't know. All right. So, Brutal Crusher Soul style games. We're going to hit the play button here, and I'm going to show you the first part of the dungeon, which this has got like 30 levels, I think. Maybe it's 25. It feels like a lot. But there's multiple games in the series. It's a long-running series, and it's been kind of running through the background of gaming's history. And I really recommend you check it out, considering especially that it's free. At Caravel Games, you can get their original, one of their original versions of the game, and it's just very playable. And it's got great music and stuff. This version it's got some voiceover and stuff like that. Well, let's get into it. We'll show you how it goes. I hope you're not going to charge me for the top level. I've already cleaned that up. I mean, well, mostly King Dugan. So here's the way this works. This is that you move. Using the keypad, and so you can go side to side, you can go up and down, you can go diagonal if you want to, and then you can rotate your sword. So your sword is so big that it takes up a whole space. It's like as big as you. And so we just kind of go through room to room here. And then this room here is going to teach you about orbs. They'll often manipulate doors, but there's other devices they can manipulate too. And so one of the key elements of this game is hitting orbs. Yeah, so let me just go up here. Okay, got a slightly fancier orb puzzle here. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is going to hit the one over on the left here because it's already open. Yep. Boom. Puzzle master. We mastered that puzzle. Alright. So we got a little note here. To open the blue door, you must conquer every room. So you have to finish all the other rooms than the blue door. The blue door often blocks the exit of this dungeon level. Oh, so we got our first enemy here. Yeah, I talked already over that. First roach of the dungeon. So the roach will go straight towards you. It'll always take the shortest path to try and get to you. You can hit 5 number, by the way, just to stand in place. So this roach here, right? He won't move forward because the closest way to get to me is straight ahead. But my sword's in that spot, so the roach can't occupy that sword location. But if we move forward with the sword, bam. Yeah. So this game is very much about manipulating the sword in fancy ways to make sure that you can survive various rooms. But for now, it's pretty easy. So these arrows only go one direction. So we can't actually clear that room until we approach it from a different direction. Here's some more of those arrows just for looking around and playing with. So you can go downwards through the arrow, you can go sideways through the arrows, but you cannot go in any of the 3 directions into that arrow. So for instance, an arrow will always guard the direction it's pointing against, so I can't go up through this arrow. I can't go diagonally towards a point of an arrow, and I can't go diagonally towards the other side either. These diagonal arrows, right, kind of work in a similar way. You can't go head on, and you also can't go through the side, like the side the little triangle part of the arrow is protecting against, but you can go sideways through it. And of course you can always go in the same direction. Yeah. no big deal. Go with the flow. Alright, so we're going to go over here. It's a little funky because I think the last time I played I was playing with the WASD controls or something like that. So, or it's just been a while since I played DROD. So if you see me moving in some funky directions, it's just because I am not used to moving around with my right hand at the moment. So these roaches here, they snuck through the one-way gate, right? But if we go back through it, we can clear the room, leave the room, right? Room still cleared. Boom. And that's how you solve some of these rooms, like that, yeah. Fascinating part, this is going to get more complicated as time goes on, but the thing is that, like, even though you've played certain rooms before, they can still be pretty intense. There's certain parts a little deeper down which I still fumble at for like minutes on end, trying to finish all the complicated things it's asking me to do. It's just kind of like why I liken it to the Dark Souls of puzzle games, because even if you've passed through a puzzle before, it doesn't necessarily make it easier, because a lot of the things you have to do are kind of like situational, and if you move one square to the side, right, then it's like it can turn into a different puzzle entirely. Like it's procedural, like if you take the same steps, you'll always get everything in the same positions, right? Like everything just follows its little algorithm, but it can get very, you can kind of alternate timeline a puzzle pretty hard. So green doors only open after all the monsters are killed. So it's a pretty common, you saw that earlier, like it's a pretty common element in this game. Gotta kill all the bugs in each room. So this one's a little more complicated. This is like your first, like, okay, time to actually get to know the game. Where, okay, we have two roaches on either side, right? So if we just go forward and then we try to kill one of these guys, it's just gonna, there we go, run in and eat us. And you get like save points at the beginning of every room. So if we try to rotate this way, we can get one, but now we've got this roach like stuck at our back, right? So we're just like, how do we deal with this situation? It's the real question, right? So what we can do is there's actually several ways to solve this puzzle, which is great. There's like lots of solutions usually. So one thing we can do is we can go like this, and then that. So now we have this wall, and boom, kill that roach. However, we could have just as easily done something like this. Slightly more advanced. You always move before the roach, all the enemies, so it has to resolve your move before all of the other monsters move. So that's how you can do things like you can move backwards and move the sword into a roach and kill it before they'll all move. And this is a little more advanced again. So it kind of puts you in this room here, and you got to hit these orbs open to get like, all these bugs free. It's a good time to talk about how actually this game was developed by a guy who worked on a submarine, I believe, and worked out the prototype for this game on graph paper in his free time on the sub. It's actually pretty neat, I think, that someone could come up with this game entirely in paper and then code it later. I mean, not entirely. I didn't think they did in every dungeon, but I'm sure that they had like lots of maps already established in their notebook, whatever, before they started working. Not that working on your notebook isn't working. Anyhow, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think this is one of probably up there in my top 10 games of all time. Actually, it may not look like it. I mean, you know, graphics are a big deal for some people, but like. I don't know. It gets more intense. It's definitely it's very satisfying to finish levels too. So okay, so easy peasy, kill all these roaches, hit this orb here, right? So now right here we gotta go over here, hit this orb open, and now we've got 2 channels worth of these roaches, which we can kind of even out a little bit if we go up and down, right? Bam, bam, bam. So we can just keep moving back and forth. We've made our blade into kind of like a sausage press here, smashing all these bugs. Right, our sword's like too big for the hallway, right? So they can't actually get through in any capacity. This one's a little more complicated. So here with the orb, right? And if we just keep, oh, actually we should hit that check mark. That was a checkpoint. So we can do the same kind of thing here, right? Yeah, because like the bugs, they have formed 2 lines, and they're not smart enough to try and go around me. So we're okay. We're gonna save for this next one though. I like it that they provide mid-puzzle checkpoints. Alright, so this one is real big, and we're like gonna try and do the same thing. Uh-oh. So now we have a little problem, right? If we just rotate our sword, we're not gonna be able to beat this bug, right? So if we backstep though, we can kill that bug, and then go back to the wall, and then start rotating our sword again. Smash, 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 smash. Yeah. However, an alternative way we could handle that. Let's go like this, and then use this little alcove. Right? A little fancier, but you can do it both ways. I actually showed you the more complicated way of solving that puzzle. There you go. See? Kind of chides you for doing it the easy way. It's kind of like just there to let you know, hey, by the way, there's fancier sword moves you can learn. So, more of the same, teaching you kind of inadvertently, kind of not inadvertently, teaching you in a subtle way through showing and not telling. This is our tutorial of just like, how do bugs move? How do they operate? Do bugs know things? Let's find out. Sweet. Finish the level. Alright, so here we are again. We got this, so we're going back through the same room we cleared. And so we just have to hit this orb to open the door for us. Yeah, so sometimes you have to like, it's not quite so obvious on how you get back through a room. Even though it's cleared, it might still be tricky to get through. Alright, just keep going on. Keep moving the way we need to move. Yeah. So we can go back to that corridor here with that green door now missing. So we get to progress from here. Ooh, pits. They're just like walls, except prettier. It's kind of funny walking backwards. Yeah, there you go. It's kind of funny, you can save here if you want to, but you can just descend down these stairs to finish. No secrets found, apparently. Yeah, there are secrets in the game. They're sprinkled in there somewhere, hidden away. Yeah, so you go second level. Beethrow's a bit rusty, but the next level should get him in good chopping form. So we're going to show you how this level goes down, and then we're going to call it here. Because you should play this game on your own. This game is definitely worth playing. That's why we are doing it for the series. Alright, so got lots of different ways here. You notice actually, so we got like 2 different paths here, and then there's another 3 here, so it's kind of non-linear in a little bit. You can tackle these in any order. Alright, so we'll save. I guess we just hit this orb here, going up here first. Oops. Going a little too fast, but rescue yourselves with some fancy footwork. Bam. Alright. By all means, if you think you want to play this game already, please just go ahead and do that. No need to wait for me to finish this video. Boom. Alright, yeah, this one's not so bad. It's pretty easy little corridor. And then I don't think the next one's going to be tricky either. Let's see here. Yeah, boom. Get him with the sneaky stab. Sneaky, sneaky. Alright. So this is a new character here. Let's see. This guy here is a roach mother. It'll actually travel as far away from me as possible, but every 30 moves, it will spawn roaches that I'll have to kill. So this is a critter that you're going to see a lot of in this game. Yep. So we're going to go as quickly as we can down this snaking path that's designed to mess us up. Alright, so in the next move, you can see here it's going to hit 30, and boom. So it's going to make all these little roach babies here that are going to grow over a couple turns. boop, boop, boop. And now they're fully grown, and by move 5, they're allowed to start chasing me again. So new roachlings. Sort of thing. All right, so the queen here is in the corner, so she's only making 3 new roaches. So it's not terrible. There's going to be a fair amount of these little guys in this room before we're done. Oops, bumping into a wall does count as a move. It's okay. If that room for the door we just opened were completely filled with roaches, I think we'd still be okay. This is more or less just to freak you out a little bit about being efficient. Teach you the mechanic. Alright, so here we go. Save, because we don't want to do that again. Oof. Alright. Okay. So moving back and forth is one way of doing things, but then rotating the sword is another. So sometimes you'll do one over the other if you want to be just a tiny bit more efficient about what you're doing. I'm gonna stand right here. Don't want to get too far ahead of this roach here, because oops, they can sneak up on you. Boom, nice. Oh, we go down this way now that we opened it up. So we got a lot of little roach queens in this room. These roaches here are actually stuck on top of arrows. It's kind of hard to see, so they can't move. They're just going to continually spawn roaches. Okay. Nice. Just like Mama. Just kidding. Alright. Boom. Alright, in this room here, there's a whole bunch of arrows going the other direction. So what we actually have to do here is, you notice that these are all pointing towards us, right? We want to actually get this roach to go out of this box because we're not allowed to go inside of it. So we're going to save. We're going to hit this orb. So that we're not dealing with roaches the entire time we're walking down this this path here. Hello. If you can it's easy to, when the roaches just get newly spawned, to accidentally let the queen get stuck for a second, and then you can bypass her or you overtake her, and then she runs back down south again. Alright, and then we're almost there. Yeah, okay, so now the queen is out of this little trap here, so we can go around the outside. Get our revenge. We can actually let these roaches funnel in through these walls here. So we can get them out of the trap without having to go to the other side. Alright, and then... Okay, gotta be careful there. Don't make any mistakes with a big pile of roaches like that. It's easy to take one misstep and suddenly be dead. Another reason why I think this game is a little bit like Dark Souls. Alright. So, good timing makes things a lot easier. Yeah, for sure. If I wait 1 second... Boop. There. It's only one roach I have to deal with. You can pretty much... There we go. There might have been, but I felt like that was pretty clean. I don't know. Maybe. Alright, I'm gonna go after actually this one here. There you go. Boom. Using our master skills here. Alright, so we're just trying to avoid being eaten. The game has not yet shown us its full strength of its difficulty. It's still working its way up. But some of these can be quite hard. Most of these puzzles right now are just about not making missteps, but eventually they require a lot of forethought and planning. But right now I'm just smashing orbs. Okay. I'm going to rotate because these guys up here are going to spawn. Oh, I actually need to hit the orbs down the bottom too. But that's fine. As long as we turn around fast enough. So this is kind of like an early introduction to the concept of tempo. Is you can't just mess around, right? You actually have like a limited number of turns before you're gonna have to turn back around to face these new spawns. That's what we're talking about. Starting to talk about efficiency. Okay, so we can go in through here. We actually trapped that Roach Queen. It's quite nice. Just good timing. Boom. So actually, you'll notice here that I can block a couple of these spaces, and they won't spawn any roaches, like you can see right there. It's another option for dealing with queens, is that you can just kind of get them in situations where they can't really spawn anything. So definitely get your queens clumped together if you can. Alright. Yeah, so this one's a little bit tricky, because here, right, we, these Roach Queens are all the way in the far end of the corner, right? But as soon as we go down here to this orb, right, you can see here that it's actually operating all the doors at the same time. That's what the little lightning strikes are for. So if we go up here to try and open this door, it actually closes the other door so that we can't actually get into the center passage at any time during this puzzle. So we're going to have to go back here and take a little bit of a rewind. So I think if we... Can we do this with, like, expert timing? I don't think we can. Alright. What we can do... Stand over here. And I'm just passing time. This is actually one of the big first puzzles in the game where you actually have to figure out the solution, but we already know the solution. And the solution is to get so many bugs in there that the queens just can't move. I actually think I need to stand over here. Maybe over here. We want to make some extra bugs because we need to... All these roaches that are being spawned are going to follow us where the queens aren't, so we need to make it so there's no situation where the queens can escape, just because we've got this little pocket up here of 3x3, right? As soon as we move into there, right, some more bugs get spawned. So, yeah. You want to make sure there's always at least 3 or 4 bugs in this this row right next to the queens, that row. So, if we go like this, we should be fine. Yeah, okay, there's 1 bug in the way still. Okay, so this is where we now want to save. There. And so the queens are now stuck down there in the lower section. We'll just clear some of these roaches out. Oops. And see, we turned the wrong way. Got eaten. Tricky. Okay. Probably should have gone after those queens as soon as we could, but save again. I don't know. I like killing the ones that are visible first. Can we do this? Yeah, this looks fine. There we go. The clock is off now, so we can take a little more time about what we're gonna do here. Just go slow. And then down here. And that's how you do this puzzle. Let's see. Don't do it. It's obvious what will happen. So if you hit this orb, yeah, it'll open up all the gates here. So we're gonna save. And then we're gonna try and find a nice hiding spot here. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna angle the sword this direction. And then we're gonna rush forward in this little pocket. Okay, so now we got a little tricky. Gotta be tricky about this, right? Because we don't get into too much trouble, otherwise we won't be able to handle what we're pulling out here. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go out and die. There you go. What were we talking about? Tricky. Okay. Nope, didn't make it. Can I? Nope. All right, let's not use that little path. I think we can find something a little better here. Let's actually just stand over here and see what happens. Nope, that was almost it though. Almost again. We need to handle this from a slightly better position. There you go. Now I think we're gonna be okay. We can slowly release roaches where we see fit. There we go. This way first. Then this way. Alright. Run back and save just before I mess up. Still possible. Sweet. There we go. So it looks like there's a little room in the center there that we missed. We'll have to go back and get that at some point. For now, we can go this way. Oh, hey, there we go. So there's the exit. So we should have actually gone through and then did those other rooms. Save. This is actually a destructible wall. Shouldn't be so destructive. Rude. So yeah, sometimes you can see destructible walls in other levels. Sometimes they'll be hidden across the side here. You should be able to identify them though. They're always visible. They're never like a secret thing you have to like test every wall to find. But they can be easy to miss. Okay. So we gotta go back. Alright. So there's a new enemy in this room, actually. This is this little guy here. It's kind of hard to see. It says it's a bat. There.
That means I could be chasing him all over the room.
Oh yeah, Wraithwing. Yep. Okay. Wraithwings, they have a unique AI where they will try to get close to you, but then eventually they will try to turn away from you when they get a little too close. But if something's like keeping them from going backwards, right, then they won't be able to escape. Here, I've just let this one get out of danger here, so you can observe its behavior a little more. So you would like chase it around the room. But unfortunately here, again, it can't escape because of the wall. So, boop. Finish it off. Won't be the last enemy this game introduces, that's for sure. But the fascinating thing is just that they can introduce, like, even just these roaches, right? They get used in basically every part of the game, but the game keeps finding ways to recontextualize and mix up how you handle them, right? Make them into a slightly different threat every time. And that's true of a lot of the enemies they introduce in the game. That often they'll introduce an enemy and then you just see a whole bunch of rooms that focus on how that enemy is special. Alright, so here's a tricky part, right? So as soon as we X out this tunnel, right, these roaches on the right side here, oops, they'll start moving on us. So we're going to try and kill all of these, rotate around. We had just enough time to do both. But here, it's kind of like this room is very much about doing that over and over again. Putting you in situations where you're going to release beetles from both sides. So here. So now if we try to go up here, we're in an even more stickier situation if we go straight up. But we can go right back. And if you wanted to, you could even approach that from a different angle. I think you might be able to see on the screen. There we go. So just go through here. So we got one arm here. You gotta trigger that, right? And it opens those ones. Just kind of like sending trickier and trickier placements at you. Alright. So then we can go down here. Yes, mate. Alright. Maneuver around again. Let's save again, why not? Alright. And then we want to open the floodgate, get some bugs in there. Kind of just let it a little bit out at a time. So this roach is actually on top of a door. It can't get itself back in that position, but it's allowed to leave into an open space when one becomes available. There we go. I really like the music in this game. It gets pretty varied. Alright, so we got some roach queens on the upper left here, and we're gonna have to, looks like, go through this orb maze, hit this thing, opens up the door, hit this, opens one of the gates towards the roach queens, and then you have to go out and around. Each time you go through it, a few more bugs are gonna spawn here. So you're really encouraged to get the strafing action going here. So like there are lots of ways to kill roaches, but if you pick some inefficient ones, you're gonna end up with trickier problems. More moves, mo problems. guess it's more mo moves, mo problems. Bam, 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 bam. Alright, so now all the doors are open. So we can go over here. And not go too fast, otherwise we run the risk of accidentally killing ourselves here. Alright. Save one last time. Just for safety. And we'll go around. I don't think we needed to go around, but we'll do it. It's familiar. Yeah. So, unfortunately, we kind of have to go all the way around again. We went the wrong way. I like the little mini-map. You can see the individual passageways and stuff like that. Yep, and here we are again. Cool. Have 3 deaths, yeah. No secrets found. May not have been any secrets that level, who knows? Ponder, breathe, be through. So far, I see mostly roaches down here. This looks like a cake job. And this is where I'm going to leave you off. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this, you should play this game. Also, behold, boop, there's a little secret right there. That's for free. That's what a destructible wall in a bunch of normal walls looks like. Yeah, Deadly Rooms of Death. It's available for free at Caraville.net. You should go check it out. And thanks for watching.